nobody trains harder than you, Jakob, and
I think someone does.
Okay, what was the difference tonight?
I mean, it's of course disappointed, but all credit to Kerr. He did a good race, but I feel a little bit unlucky for being in this position. Felt very similar to the World Indoors. Got a little bit dry throat in the warm-up in the semi-final. Escalated to being a sore throat in the evening and the next morning. I got a little bit or a lot better this morning, but obviously not feeling 100%. So, of course, I feel very unlucky being in this situation. But today I wasn't the best in the field. Of course, I would have loved to be in a different scenario, feeling a little bit better. But being on training camp for the last 12 weeks, being relatively isolated to the rest of the world, it's of course irritating getting in this situation 2 days before the most important race of the year. But I don't feel like I could have done much different. It's a good race, perfect for me, but just if you're not 100%, of course it's frustrating not being able to get out your best. Of course I ran as hard as I could and did as good as I could with the tools that I had, but it's just a little bit unlucky.
Does that affect you going into your next race?
I mean, I felt pretty good. In the warm-up you can only get some answers, but after 500-600 meters I could feel that I wasn't 100%, and of course you try to do the best out of it, but it's a little bit different not being 100% than not doing a good race. So of course it's a little bit of a frustrating situation to be in the last couple of days, but it is what it is.
You took the front a bit earlier today than you usually do. You were there, it seemed like, in the first sort of 300 to 400 meters.
You watch running? The track and field?
Sometimes.
Okay. Yeah, no, it's of course it's a type of race that I feel very confident in, and of course I believe in my abilities to win in those type of races, which I believe I've shown in many different times. But it's difficult to not. To do it if you're not 100%. Today was just not my day, so of course frustrating for it to be that way. But at the same time, I don't feel like I could have done much different. Kerr's doing a good race, and of course gets the deserved victory, all things considered. But of course I would have wished it to be a little bit different.
Before the last few days, did you feel more confident than last year, given how well you've been closing the Diamond League this season?
Yes, but of course the two-time championships is very similar. But last year I made some tactical mistakes, obviously feeling 100% in the final. So maybe a little bit more disappointing doing it the way I did it last year. But this year it's more frustrated about the whole situation. Last year I did some obvious mistakes, but this year I don't feel like I could have done much differently in both my preparations and the last couple of days. But I think it's just as I said, I've been basically isolated from the rest of the world the last 3 months, as I usually am, taking all the precautions of trying to be as fit as I can, but sometimes it's just not how it goes.
Did you run in the pack in the semi-final because you weren't feeling well, or was that just?
No, I felt very good in the semi-final. Just I felt in the warm-up that just in my throat, but then the next day I felt a little bit It's a setback from the whole thing, but a lot better this morning. So hoping for it to be just good enough, but obviously I wasn't 100%. So a lot of the same feelings that I felt in the World Indoors. So it's more disappointed about being in this position or situation. But as I said, I'm not sure, or I know that I probably couldn't have done it that much differently with, you know, doing everything as good as you can, staying away from people, not being social, you know, doing the basic things to be as prepared as I can.
Plan on coming out for the 5,000?
Of course I would love to, but I have to cool down and see how I feel tomorrow. But of course it's tomorrow's round 1, so I think I have a good chance of advancing. There's a couple of days to the next round, so I mean,
Okay, thank you.
yeah, I think so.